Hi, Laurie Chetwood here. We recently shared a project from the city of Bath, and I thought it might be interesting to show how we created it both as an asset for the city and also as a benefit for the wildlife in the area. So in the foreground is the river, you've got the towpath, then you've got the residential pavilions which front the river, and behind which is a commercial district, if you like, of this particular development. In between each of the blocks are 4 thermal chimneys, which are being used here, in this case, obviously, for natural ventilation. There you can see the commercial going in the background. Access points are also on the thermal chimneys, vertical access. The river itself is a bit of a pain around this. It's pretty barren. It's bounded by sheet piling, as you can see in the section there. It means that if you fall in, you generally can't get out. And also there's no opportunity for ecology to establish itself. It's just pretty barren. So what we've done is we leave the sheet piling in, and we've put in a prefabricated system of shelves and planters and so forth, which allows us to plant and to create habitat along the river. The good thing is, as you can see in the plan now, we create something that's a lot more attractive. Obviously does provide more habitat for flora and fauna all the way along there. We also looked at the river and thought, well, the river isn't really doing very much. Can we connect the river more to maybe supply this development in a more sustainable way? So we created a series of piers, which then led into green bridges, which then led into our access points into the development. So creating habitat, creating amenity to some extent, and making sure that the river is connected to the development more than it is now. The other idea we had was to use the sun, and obviously that connects us back to these thermal chimneys. It heats up and creates an updraft, which allows us to pull air, unwanted heat, from the commercial area, and instead of evacuating it out, we're recycling it through the residential areas when required. At the same time, we're pulling cooler air off the water, which is the blue there, and that goes up through the thermal chimneys, but at the same time can cool the residential and can also help reduce the load on the commercial space. So we end up with a scheme which looks at improving the river, creating an amenity there, ensuring that wildlife gets an opportunity to establish itself, and also to use the physical mechanics of an environmental or sustainable opportunity, which is reusing heat from the commercial side and using cool air off the river.